So I'm here to give my prediction for the Deontay Wilder versus Robert Helenius fight coming up at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, October 15th. This is a comeback fight for Deontay Wilder um, since losing two straight fights to Tyson Fury, getting knocked out, and I believe a lot was taken out of him in that fight. In those three fights, especially the second and third fight, a lot was taken from Deontay Wilder, man. So it remains to be seen how he's going to do in the ring. So we get to see that this October. Uh, you definitely see a demeanor change in Deontay Wilder. It looks like before he got to Tyson Fury, he was an absolute monster. He was an animal. And then it seems like Tyson Fury took a lot out of this guy, man. I'm going to keep it all the way honest with y'all. It looked like he kind of humbled him a lot. But I see little remnants of Deontay still trying to pop back out, the old Wilder, the Bomb Squad. I haven't heard that much from him, but I've heard him say it a few times. He's trying to get back into his character, man. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Stella trying to get his groove back. I get it. But let's talk about this fight, man. Let's talk about both these guys. Let's run through the quick tail of the tape. Deontay Wilder, his record stands at 42 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw, 41 wins by way of knockout, and both of his losses were knockout losses. So Deontay Wilder remains one of the boxers with the highest KO ratio in boxing. I think he holds his KO ratios at 91%. So I think his better BFs is at 100%, But Robert Helenius, he's 31 wins, 3 losses, no draws, 20 wins by way of knockout, and 2 losses by knockout. He has a 58% KO ratio. And Robert Helenius is 38 years old. Deontay Wilder is now 36 years old. So both these dudes, Robert Helenius is pretty much on his way out of his prime. He's been out of his prime, man. I would say he's on the downslope. Deontay Wilder is teetering that fence as well. But in heavyweight boxing is a little different, man, for some reason. It just seems like they're much older. A lot of these heavyweights are much older. They can go a little bit longer, for some reason. Look at George Foreman. That's like he was one example of that. Deontay Wilder is 6'7" with an 83-inch arm reach. Robert Helenius is 6'6.5" with a 79-inch arm reach. Pretty much these dudes are almost exactly the same height, but Deontay Wilder has the significant arm reach over Robert Helenius. So the attributes, man, speed. Definitely got to get a speed to Deontay Wilder. Very quick hands, a bomb of a right hand. That shit is a nuclear right hand, bro. After seeing him, what he did with fucking Spilka, that was crazy. And I think it was another boxer. He looked like he sent them to another realm or something. It's crazy, but the power definitely goes to Deontay Wilder, man. One of the hardest punchers in boxing. Like him, love him or hate him, man. You can say what you want about his style. He's unorthodox. He don't know his technical skills is trash. Whatever you want to say, it don't matter, man. He got that motherfucking equalizer. He got that right hand. You gotta give it to him. That's just his way he fight. That's his style, bro. You can't take that from him. You can't expect every fighter to fight the same, man. Because if you did, this wouldn't make the sport entertaining now, would it? Absolutely not. Proof of his power, man. I mean, Spilka was one guy. He put him out and had him convulsing damn near. There was another guy. He spread him all over the canvas, bro. My man was like shaking, like almost like a seizure, bro. Like he ain't nowhere. Like he was like his soul was trying to leave and come in and out of his body, man. It was crazy. And then another example of that is when he fought the last fight with Tyson Fury, the third fight, when he punched him. He hit him square in his face, bro, and his whole body vibrated. The power was resonating through this motherfucker's body, bro. He hit him in his face, and then You saw the shock waves and shit. That shit was crazy, man. And that, yo, credit to Tyson Fury. He didn't even drop right there. He took that shit, man. Even though he was buzzed like a motherfucker, he took it. But damn, that showed me two things that night. It showed me Deontay Wilder, his power is serious, and it showed me Tyson Fury's chin is serious. It showed me both. Two monsters, man. Absolute monsters. Inside work, I have to give it to Robert Helenius. I think he has the better inside work. His body work is much more prevalent. It's not the greatest, but when he do manage to tap you to the body, he knocked a few people out with the body. So I don't really see Deontay Wilder really mixing it up on the inside like that. He's not really an inside fighter. He needs some mid range or out. He needs to be mid range or further out to really execute a lot of his power and shit like that for the most part. So he's not really an inside worker like that. Outboxing, I have to give it to Robert Helenius. I've seen Wilder try to outbox a little bit in the third fight. He was trying to do it. He did that a few other fights, but that's not really his thing. Like as far as like he likes to execute his punches from the outside and the mid range, but as far as like on the back foot and just outboxing like on some, that's not really his thing. Robert Helenius, I seen him, he can box from the outside. I've seen it a few times in some of his fights, but that's not really his thing either. But I would have to still give the edge to Robert Helenius with the outbox work. Footwork, Wilder's not known to really have great footwork. His legs look like that's a lot of his weaknesses. His legs, and the size of his legs is his weakness too. Robert Helenius, his footwork ain't really on display as much either, but he does move around much better than Wilder, in my opinion. So I gotta give the footwork advantage slightly to Robert Helenius. The jab, I give the jab to Deontay Wilder. I think his jab is more devastating because even though he got power in the right hand, his left is power. He got some power in the left too. His jabs is more like crisp, more missile-like. His jabs is made to set up shots, just like Robert Helenius. His jabs is really set up shop jabs. I've seen a few of his jabs is like the keep you away type jab, but I would have to give the jab advantage to Deontay Wilder. The accuracy, Wilder a lot of times, even like a lot of his older fights too, he likes to swing for the fences, bro. Like he playing baseball and shit. He used to throw him off course, off balance. When he throw those left haymakers and them right bombs, he miss. But when he's planting his feet and he's timing, he has good timing. And he can time you, he's accurate. But otherwise, sometimes he's all over the place. Robert Helenius seems like he places his punches much more better. He picks his shots more with more precision. So I'll have to give the accuracy to Robert Helenius. The punch volume, Robert Helenius, he lands some good bombs. He has a pretty decent punch volume. But Wilder, like I said, when he gets you hurt, he's just all over you. He's mauling you. So both of them are kind of like that. When they know they got you hurt, that's when they start really picking up their punches. But I would have to give the slight edge to Deontay Wilder on that one. Defense, I don't even see I never seen Wilder move his head. Wilder doesn't really move his head enough at all, man. He doesn't. He blocks. I seen him block some shots with his gloves and put the microphone, once in a while. But Wilder, to be fair, man, he ain't really that's not his thing. You know what I mean? He's a come forward dude. I haven't really seen him have to really use any defense because a lot of dudes up until like Fury really didn't really make him think. So he was just sparking everybody. He didn't really have to use his defense much. So Robert Helenius, on the other hand, I see him do some some dodging punches, sticking his head in and out once in a while. But his problem is he doesn't tuck his chin. Robert Helenius, he suffers from that. He doesn't tuck his chin, man, which might be an issue in this fight. You know what I'm saying? So how do I see this fight playing out? I think, to me, man, this pretty much is an easily predictable fight, man. The reason why I say that is because Come on, man. He sparred. He's Deontay Wilder's sparring partner. He spars this guy. So anytime you see a fighter getting in the ring with a sparring partner, man, you already know how that's going to turn out, man. You know what I mean? I don't know what's really. We don't know. They might tell Helenius to lay down in that ring. I don't fucking know, bro. And I'm more leaning towards that, man. I think this fight, as far as the attributes, man, from what it looked like, Robert Helenius got the better attributes over Deontay Wilder. Wilder got the speed, the power, and the jab. I think Robert Helenius got the inside work, the outbox work, footwork, the accuracy, and the defense slightly over Wilder. But with that being said, since this is Wilder's comeback fight, and he's pretty much figured him out through the sparring and shit like that, man. They both figuring out each other, but I think this is gonna be an easy win for Deontay Wilder. Robert Helenius has some flaws. Like I said, it's that chin. He doesn't tuck his chin enough. His defense is slightly better than Deontay Wilder's, but not by far at all. He's too slow. He's slower than Wilder, put it like that. And I think this fight is gonna be over in maybe 3. I get it's a 3rd round severe knockout for Deontay Wilder, for the simple fact that I'm going off the whole fact that this is his sparring partner, man. I don't really like fights like that when you see they sparred already and they got some kind of history right there. So I'm thinking more than likely, bro. I mean, not just regular sparring. They've been really doing it a lot. So nah, you know what I mean? This is Wilder's fight all the way. They're gonna give it to Wilder, but I think if no other factors is involved in this, I think Robert Helenius might put up a pretty decent fight up until he gets knocked out. I'll give it 3. The only other thing another element I will add to this is we still don't know if Tyson Fury took a whole lot out of Deontay Wilder. As far as I think he did, but we don't know how he's gonna look in that ring. So that's something to consider too. You know, even regardless though that this is his sparring partner. If Wilder, Robert Helenius has a sneaky uppercut, and it's decent. He has a decent uppercut, and he got a decent left too, and he's a little bit more technical than Wilder. So he probably could pose some issues if Wilder get back in his groove where he can catch him with that right, man. I think that's it. You know what I mean? 3rd round knockout for Deontay Wilder. That's my prediction. But anyway, let me know what you think. This is Rebel Life Boxing. Let me know what you think about this fight coming up between Deontay Wilder and Robert Helenius this October. Drop a comment, like, and share. I'll catch y'all in the next one, and I'm out.